So we're doing the Classy Classroom assignment. Now, the link is here connecting to the style sheet, and this style sheet has this code already in place. Leave that alone. That's why it's pink right now. If you want to change that main body's background color, you are welcome to do that after the other code. So background. Oh, background. Before I type out background, I need to say what I'm changing. Body is the selector. Curly bracket, enter. Now background. Background dash color, background, either one, they work the same. And then some other color. Azure. Run. All right, so you can change the body color if you want. You do not have to. So back to our code, we've got the head. Inside the head, we have the title, which is the tab name, and then the link that's connecting our style sheet. So I'm going to collapse the head just so it's not visible, and then to the body. The body is the main visible part, and I want 3 sections or chunks or containers. I want a header, I want a main, that work, main tab, there we go. The main, I'm going to tab those in. And then a footer. So now hit run. I programmed the header, some styles, and one of those included the background color. Inside the header, I'm going to do an H1, my 4 classes. Inside the main, I want, since I'm doing 4 classes, I'm going to do 4 sections. SEC, TNN, tab. All right, so there's 1 section. Two sections. Copy that, paste. Okay, so 4 sections. Hit run, got some background color in there. Inside the section, I want an H2. And for the H2, inside that, I'm putting the name of the class. So let's say art. And then we'll throw in a paragraph and be like, art is fun. PR gives it a new line. I love my smiley face skills. Something short. It's been programmed with some sizing, and we don't want to get too involved. So 2-3 lines is fine. And then we're going to do that same thing inside the other sections. Only I don't want it to be art every time. So art. What other do we want to do? Let's go history. And then actually I'm going to delete out this stuff I don't want. Art, history, math, and web 1. Deleting out this stuff here. All right, so I'm actually going to pause the video, fill out this text, and then I'll resume. All right, so I've got my text all in. I'm going to collapse my paragraphs. So I click this little arrow next to the numbers, just so that it's a little easier to see what's going on. All right, so I have a header. Inside the header, I have an H1. I have the main. Inside the main, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 sections. Inside each section, I have a heading, and a paragraph. And then if I need multiple lines on the paragraph, BR. And you'll notice over here on the picture, which I just pointed to with my hand, which you can't see. Anyway, if I make it narrow, see how the text is wrapping? If you want it to force a new line before then, you're going to use BR. Now, the next thing we're going to be adding is pictures. And so for that, I'll actually do a separate video just to, well, no, I'll do it now. One and done. So for the video, for the pictures, we're just going to draw them today. So in your search bar on your computer, type to search for paint. Mine is right here. And you don't need to spend a lot of time on these, right? Just something quick. Here's a smiley face. Yay, right? Whatever you're going to do, file, save as, and PNG or JPEG, either of those would be fine. Save it. Right, so here's one I did earlier. You need to remember where you saved it. Right, so this one's in my pictures folder, and then I have this demo. So I'll go nice.jpg and save. Okay, now you need to resave a new one for each of these images. What I recommend you do is make one and then go File, New. So you've got a new file, and then you do whatever drawing you want for that. File, save as, new name. Once you've got your 4 pieces, one for each of your 4 classrooms that you're going to be doing on the website, open up that file folder, and you should have all the images. Click, drag, drop it in. And for today, we're not going to be doing a folder, so just go ahead and drop it straight over. And danger, equations, ketchup, web. Okay, so here's all my files. Because we didn't use folders to organize it, it's just alphabetical order, and that's fine. So in each section, after the paragraph, but before that closing tag for the section, IMG tab, and that will give you your 2 attributes, the source attribute and the alt. For the source, because there's no folder, we don't need to do folder slash. What was the picture I was doing for art? Ketchup, equations, danger, and web. The history one was ketchup, math. I don't remember. I want the smiley face. Where'd my smiley face go? Smile. Okay. So for my source, it's mile.jpg. Now, depending on how you saved your file, if this said PNG, you'd have to make that match. Alt, best smile ever. Right. So I programmed it so that when you have your images, they should fit inside the little section. And then if I have extra text, so the one downside to this is it kind of hides behind the picture. And that's why I'm saying just don't do a lot of text. If you really want to have a lot of text, come talk to me in class and we'll figure something out. Anyway, so you're going to go through and you're going to add an image inside of each picture, or image inside each section. So IMG, history, source is, I'm going to do my ketchup.jpg. not real. Second picture. Okay, so I'll go through, pause while I do the rest, and then resume. All right, so I've got my images added in. Now, if you look at math, see how it's an oval with dots? I had some of my extra programming that I put in. It's checking, so if you forget your alt, it's oval. So make sure you have the description of your equation, or the description of your image. Slope of a line. Okay, what? Oh no. All right, see this red deal? That means it's having issues with the internet. All right, now it's a little better. It's connected again, still saving. Once that's solid and has a check mark like that, now it should be fixed. Perfect. And then the solid one means that somebody just deleted out that alt attribute completely. So alt equals quote computer drawing. Drawing. Good enough. Okay. I do care. All right, so now that we've got some text and we've got some images, we want to talk about styling. And the whole reason we called this lesson Classy Classrooms is we want to style our each section to have a different color. Now, I had it set to be red. If you go in and say section, that was not how you spell section. Background color, you changed it to something. Your code, it overrides the red that was there, right? But if we want each of these to be a different color, then we need to use what's called a class attribute. So the way the class attribute works is in the section or whatever element you're wanting to style individually, we're going to add a class attribute. So click inside, space, class, equals, quote, and I'm going to call this art. It doesn't have to match what's in the H2. It should all be lowercase, one word though. It'll have problems if you have a space or anything else. So just all lowercase, one word for the value of the class attribute. And then for this next section, for me, it's easiest to give the name the same match. So class equals quote history. Class equals math. And so here, web space one, I cannot match that. So instead, I'm just going to do class equals web. Now, before when we were styling, we just used a selector that was the tag. Now what we're going to do is we're going to tell the computer select the element that has this class value, right? So the first one I did was art. So period, art, curly bracket, and now I can do my background colors. And let's go, cyan. Okay, now only the art turned blue because only this section had that attribute. If I were to have changed the value of the second one to art and hit run, now both of those have that different color. So now we're going to go back, each section dot history, and then add a background color. If you have a very dark background color, you need to also change well, I'll show you. So background color, brown. Well, that's not too bad. Let's go darker color. So if it's like a really dark brown, now hit run. Right, hard to read. So if you do that, you also need to do color, which will change the font color. Whoa, Cantique white, colon, antique white, semicolon, run. See, all right. So you're going to go through for the others, and then one thing to check is here I've got my history. See how this is kind of a green and this is a blue? Because I forgot the dot, my history is not working. So you need to have the period or the dot to style class attributes. So each of these sections needs to have a different background color. And then the last thing we're going to do here in the footer, I want to have practice doing another anchor tag. So let's just add a quick paragraph and have, I want to be and then tell me what you want to be when you grow up. When I want to be a astronaut when I grow up. So I know that's spelled wrong. It's fine. Go to Google, search for the job you want. And then go to the Wikipedia article on it. So copy that URL, and that's what I want you to link me to. And again, if you've forgotten, for a hyperlink, it does, nice. So a tab, that word that we want to be a hyperlink, put that inside the content. The href value, that's where you're pasting the URL. And then, so that the link works, and when I say work, what I mean is right now if I click it, sometimes it opens up inside this page, sometimes it doesn't. So we're going to practice putting in another attribute, and this is the target one. So target equals quote underscore link. Astron, N-A-S-T-R-O-N-A-U-T. Such a weird word. Okay, pause 1 second. All right, made one little change. So now this link, it's got like that little target behind it. So that will happen if you have this target equals quote underscore blank. Now, one other thing is if I get rid of the footer and run, it doesn't work, right? So it has to be inside the footer and have target equals quote underscore blank. And then it will be so pretty. If you want to go in and change anything, any of the colors, you're welcome to change those as far as the, let's fix that. Why is it like that? Pause 1 second again. All right, I was going to modify the original code that's inside the other file, but then I decided let's just have you guys type it in, and that way yours will be the same as you're working along instead of it being different from the beginning. So H1, text dash align center and padding dash top, give it 20 pixels, 20 px, and that'll make that in the center where we want it. And that is it. Well, they should each be a different color, so let me do that. All right, so I've got all of my files with a different color. Hit run. Now see how math, it's still that pink background, even over here I have purple. That's because you have the hashtag if you're doing this version of colors. If you're just using the named ones, you don't have that number symbol. So I left that in so I could show you that. All right, so each of them is a different color, and none of them is the color that you have for the section specifically. So you've used the class attribute to style them 4 times. Okay, that is it. Good job. Bye.